Shot down and he was barely 31. Another woke coward took a life with a gun. He left behind a wife and a daughter and a son. All he did was try to speak for all of us. And I'm so tired of the hatred and the narratives. The patriots ain't dangerous, woke people are the terrorists. They shot and killed the father, sent a message to Americans. They ain't gonna stop until they bury us. Dear Charlie, I don't know if you can see us now, but if heaven has a window, I sure hope you're looking down. Cause we ain't going quiet, we gon' scream your name loud. And you're gone, but I swear to God that we gon' make you proud. We ain't backing off or giving up, I'll preach what you taught me. They may have killed a soldier, but that man had an army. This is far more deep than some political parties. And you can't kill freedom, so this one is for Charlie. This ain't the America that all our parents love, but good man tried to keep making it great. Pray that God will take care of us. The system is failing us. We're good men to die for the things that they say. And I can't just be quiet. So I gotta be brave, cause this is America. Lately it's scaring us, but one good man can change it all in a day. Killed in cold blood for having a discussion, and liberals are celebrating murder like it's justice. You didn't kill a villain or the evil that it comes with. You killed a father and a husband. And I'm so tired of the left and all the wokery. We can't get along if you just kill us when we don't agree. Sniper rifle fire from a liberal that no one sees. Scared I might be next to die when I'm just buying groceries. Charlie, we'll make sure your children know that defending all our freedom is why you aren't coming home. I hope heaven has a window you can watch your children grow and hear your message echo from below. And we ain't backing off or giving up, I'll preach what you taught me. They may have killed a soldier, but that man had an army. This is far more deep than some political parties. And you can't kill freedom, so this one is for Charlie. This ain't the America that all our parents love, but good man tried to keep making it great. Pray that God will take care of us. The system is failing us. We're good men to die for the things that they say. And I can't just be quiet. So I gotta be brave, cause this is America. Lately it's scaring us, but one good man can change it all in a day.
Woo, okay. So hello everybody. Thanks for letting me know the sound wasn't working. It's because I wasn't on camera and I didn't realize that I couldn't do that, but we got it all fixed. Yeah, so I know you guys are going to have a lot to say about this, and I just kind of wanted to go through and letting you know about some of the compassion that is actually out there. There is just a lot of negative stuff, a lot of bots, if you will. So you guys got to be very, very careful as this is being played out. And there is one other thing that I wanted to show. And I hope you guys are doing really good. It's Friday, everyone. A lot of good stuff that's out there. And actually, where is this one in particular? This is a good one to show here. So he's finally a very religious man, very much a family man, very much a patriot. And I want to kind of just honor him today, if you don't mind joining me in that. And if he is not your thing, it is what it is. I maybe do some readings. I wasn't sure where I was going to go with the show today, to be honest with you guys. But I do want to let everyone know, whether you believe in religion or not. So there are people praying and have been praying and will continue to pray for our country, for this man, for his family, for everything. I'm not sure where this particular one was at. I thought it was Chicago. I could be wrong. Can you guys hear this okay?
This is in the middle of Highland Park, bro, on Woodward. They doing praise and worship, bro. All these people on the steps, bro. They ain't worried about none of y'all. They know God got them. You're not about to come get them off these steps. None of that. This the most.
So what he's basically saying here is that everyone is here just praying. They are praying in the middle of the night.
Display I see in the city. I don't care about your Dracos or none of that, bro. They out here in the middle of Woodward, bro. Deep like this, repping for God. Where is channel 2 and channel 4 at?
Okay, Ronnie, are you saying it's too loud or loud? I'm sorry, I need more words than one. I appreciate your help on this. Yeah, I guess Ronnie always uses like symbols, which he knows I suck at. All right, so they caught the guy. The good thing is they caught the guy. If you guys haven't heard, it was out on Fox News. Trump has been talking about it. So many people are out there decoding and doing whatever it is they want to do. I do want to announce I'm going to do a Sunday show with Joey and Buck, and I'm going to let them express themselves. I'll sit back and listen to them. I have no opinion on any of the stuff that's going on out there. There's a lot of people out there saying everything and anything, and that's why they're saying, AI is a wonderful tool, and AI is a tool that will F you up. It'll confuse you. It'll keep you in chaos, especially the bots, if you don't know what's going on out there. And okay, thank you. Ronnie's saying loud and clear. Hey, everybody. Ronnie is out there, and I appreciate her so much. Colleen is out there also. So these are the things. If you haven't seen this, this was what they thought was the suspect, but this is a guy that actually the very first time I heard Charlie speak was when this guy with the bullhorn kind of bullied his way in, and apparently it's not him. And I'll show you who the guy is. If I go back to my picture, if you guys haven't seen this, I'll show it to you. What a waste of a soul, right? So this is the kid. He people are calling him whatever you want to call him, whatever his beliefs are. But, if you cannot, let me just come back to you guys this way. If you cannot debate with words, choosing a gun is not the solution. And I don't know how we've gotten to this point with these young minds. And it is the saddest thing that I could tell you guys right now. This is Tyler Robinson. He's 22 years old. He's the individual in custody for the murder of Charlie Kirk right now. All of you probably have seen, there's just so much stuff going on out there. The first day it happened, me and my husband were just talking among ourselves for one day. Second day came along, and I thought I was okay with my decision. But all that I want to tell you guys, whatever it is that you want to believe, when you first saw this, what was your first impression? That is your answer. If you continue to watch and listen to a lot of other people, they probably jacked you up, confused you, made you think outside the box. And that is what has gotten us in trouble. So I want to bring it back to you guys again and let you know. I did happen to find somebody yesterday afternoon that was actually doing a true, real, down-to-earth decode. And I've seen a lot of people out there decoding it, and it's Rambo Joe. And I watched him, and I think I sent this out to Ronnie. If you guys ever get a chance, they used their they basically took the videos and they explained what they were showing you. Some of them slowed it down. People, when you start dissecting things out there, is when you start tearing everybody apart. You start tearing your mind apart. You start tearing things apart. That's why I'm going to bring you back to being whole again and just say, if you can remember the minute or where you were at with this Charlie Kirk murder, whether you heard it through a friend or you saw it personally live, is I guess me and my husband did. Whatever your first gut instinct was, if you thought he was dead, he's dead. If you thought whatever else outside of that, I'm not telling you what to believe in, because we all have our own journeys at this point. There's a lot of things that are going to be going on about this right now. And all that I could say is, Charlie, I watched all the way through when they delivered his body, and I saw a casket. I didn't see his body, right? So on and so forth. But I wanted to honor him today with bringing you guys a little bit more, better things. And I also want to do some readings on the collective consciousness of all of this, because I watch for different people. You guys know who I know, and I called up everyone, and I had long lanes of conversations with Joey, with Jackie. I didn't get a chance to talk to Ronnie because I was kind of at that point of the day, I was like all talked out. I talked to Kristen Lee about this, and the more that you put yourself out there, the more that you explored, the more confused that people got. It was almost as I want to say to you, don't let anyone change your opinion about what you think it might be. And whatever it is, that is what it is. Let's see here. All right. So, and the other thing too is that we're all using this. We got to let this marinate. And I say this all the time. I have to let it marinate for, I don't know, 24, 72 hours when we start to get a better perspective, because we're going off of a lot of emotions right now. A lot of people are even saying things, and I'm just going to repeat one other thing that they did. I watched Joe Rogan when he was interviewing Charlie Sheen, and they caught it live, right? It was after the fact. I think it was like a day or two later, and how Joe Rogan reacted, how Megyn Kelly reacted, how all the influencers who are on major networks and how upset they were by this, and how much this man touched everybody's heart. And all that I could say is that it all felt very real, and that are all of these people coming from a place of their true soul. That's up to each individual to decipher. If you are one of these people out there that are basically were applauding that this actually happened to Charlie Kirk, all that I could say is you're showing your true colors. And it's a sad day for any of that nonsense, as far as I'm concerned. All right, so what else do I have here for you guys? I wanted to actually show you, if I could find it. It's kind of long, but it is like when Charlie and Erica. So if you guys can get a chance to see this, take a look at their love story.
Office opening, the Turning Point headquarters office opening, the first one, August 2018, and I had no idea what to expect, because it is a really good romantic story of the two of them, about how they met. He was looking for help. She was looking to possibly get hired by him. And at the end of her interview, Charlie looked at her and said, "I cannot hire you." And she said, "Okay, well, I really didn't need the job, but a friend told me about it." And so he said, "But I do want to take you out to dinner." And it almost is such a romantic story. And then their second date, he flew her to Hawaii because he happened to be traveling there. So if you guys haven't seen this, it's out on TikTok, and it's Charlie and Erica's true love story. If you're interested in something like that, I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about it. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there that are celebrating things for the wrong reasons. And so what is actually happening with that is, I do believe that they will all be taken care of in their own way, because they've all created karma, really bad karma. And then we are here, the people that follow me are here to end the trenches of the karma. And all of you have done such a great job with this. And I truly do believe, and by the way, if you guys don't know who this is that I actually played, it was Tom McDonald's song. He wrote it. And it's amazing how these people who are so talented and gifted with music can crank something out in a short period of time. This one here I thought was really cool. I just want to honor Charlie here today, and I am going to also do some readings at a level of the collective consciousness about all of this. So this guy kind of goes through, he painted him upside down, and I just thought this was artistic. People see the world differently, and I do believe the ones that are awake see the world in a very creative way. And we need to continue to do that, because that's our new world where we're headed. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see. Okay, so this was the White House actually did put the flag at half-mast for Charlie. And also, too, there was more shootings. There was something that was happening up in Mass in an academy, I do believe. I was talking to Joey G. He was saying, "Hey, I turned on the news. A friend's contacted me. There's something going on over here." There was a high school in Colorado, Evergreen, of all names, that was 2 kids got shot in that college. So let me just say, the minions are running rapid. That's about as much as I will say about any of this.
And what else do we have here? And this was just a moment of silence with a man with a bullet instead of an argument. And that's so true. So, I'm not a debater. I've never been a debater. I shy away from debating. And I've always admired those people that can hold their own and debate a particular topic, whatever it is that they feel so strong about, and stay on topic and not get emotional about it. And that's how I watched Charlie Kirk. And it was like he was brought here to do this. But I do want to play this real quickly. Let me play this. If Ronnie says you guys can hear this, I appreciate it. Let me know. It's only 39 seconds.
Assassination. You know what's interesting about assassination? Well, not only does it change those popularity polls in a big fucking hurry, but it's also interesting to notice who it is we assassinate. Do you ever notice who it is? Stop to think of who it is we kill. It's always people who've told us to live together in harmony and try to love one another. Jesus, Gandhi, Lincoln, John Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, John Lennon. They all said, try to live together peacefully. Bam! Right in the fucking head.
That is so true. Every time there's somebody, a peacemaker, that's what they're called. If you wanted to look at the archetypes of these people, they are peacemakers. They will take and basically honor you by listening to what you have to say, but then you honor them back by exchanging and listening to what they have to say. You can always agree to disagree. I think we lost that somewhere along the line. And why were only such a few people able to do that? But every one of them have been assassinated, or, I don't even know if I could say that word here on this channel, but I want to just take a minute here and just see what you guys are saying out here. So it says, I was in the garden when I was told, glasses. The screen is a little bit further away from me today. It's too far. It says when I was told I didn't get the chills. I didn't get chills. I was thinking, what the hell? I definitely didn't want to see the video. I'm just tired of the movie because we won't know what's real anymore. God bless you, Colleen, because that is the God's truth. We don't know what's real anymore. I had this long conversation with Jackie Chapman, if you guys recall. For some reason, when me and her talk, we are just like spiritually out in the ethers together, but we are making a connection that's very earthly and earthbound of what is actually going on. I use the analogy. She was saying, like, well, this is all happening for a particular reason, is that the veil is getting much thinner. We're able to see a lot of things. So she's going into that spiritual way of it, where I was basically saying, I would take what she's saying and try to bring it and ground it down a little bit more. And I said, I was a programmer, Jackie. And as a programmer, one of the things that I did is I brought in new software into the company. They were removing their old legacy system. I said, it's almost as if right now at this period in time, if you look at it in a spiritual perspective of the analogy that I'm giving you, and I hope this makes sense for you, you have an old system. It's called a legacy. You have a new system, a new application coming in, right? And that could be equivalent to the energies that we are feeling that are coming in. We've got the old energies and the new energies. But once you basically are, you're at this point when you've got the old that's got to leave and you got the new that's got to come in, they run parallel. Jackie was talking to me almost is the way that I'm talking to you, using a different languaging of spirituality. And I said the same thing happens when you're upgrading a system. You've got to take the legacy and you've got to take the new application, the new software, and you've got to find the bugs or the bots, and you got to find out what's working, what's not working. How do you do that? It's by testing. So we're all being tested. So in order to find out what's working for us, we have to find those bugs or those bots or those liars, and we got to remove them before we can actually basically turn off the old system to turn on to the new system. And when I said that, Jackie's like, we should be recording this conversation. And that happens to us all the time, and we don't do it. but it's just how we gel together with our spiritualities. There's something about our souls that intertwine, and we get it. And so I'm saying to the people out there is that we have to figure out this isn't a much bigger picture than what we're actually being seen. And unfortunately, it does resemble a lot of John F. Kennedy, where he was shot in public. And it just kind of went that way yesterday with a lot of people. They were basically saying, was there one shooter? Was there two shooters? Was there, was it basically somebody's out there giving signals? Is there a security system? It was all over the board. And that's when I said, I'm going to step back from this. I'm going to let it marinate. And I want to see the bigger picture. Because when you start to go in and you dive in a little bit too close, as these deep divers, decoders do, they're going to mess you up. And you got to be able to pull back a little bit at some point, pull the reins back, pull the energy back, and be able to say, okay, where's this coming from? What are they actually saying? It's great that they can tie into Fox News and be able to pull out a timestamp that matches the Q codes and all that. But what does that do for you? What does that do for you? What is that telling you? All you're getting is an ooh and an ah, right? It's like geometry, whatever it's called, numerology, whatever that stuff is called out there. That's great that they can put that together, but really in common everyday world, how does that apply? What does that actually mean? That's great that they can take all these numbers and put them together and associate them to something, but you say, okay, how does it go back to what just happened? Right? How does this apply to everybody's life? And so so that's basically what I am saying here is you got to walk away. Charlene, or was it Colleen? I get those two women confused, was in the garden. She was basically gardening. She was getting very earthly, down to earth. And she said, I'm not even going to watch it. I would not have seen the worst video out there if my husband didn't come along and actually he kind of forewarned me within seconds by going, here, do you want to see this? I'm like, what the hell is it? I'm like, what? So that's really what I'm here to talk about. And I want to take a pause for the cause right now before I show you guys any more videos out there, because I want to see what it is that you guys are saying out there. Well, where were you when this actually happened? And let's see what Arnie has to say. Yes. So Arnie is basically saying, oh, that's actually going to come out of his more awakening. And that's exactly where I'm going with this too, Arnie. It is what it is. The more awakening. And what does awakening mean? Everybody will say, well, we're going to rise to ascension. Where are we going with this? We are waking up from being slaves, period. Right? We don't know. We don't trust the left. We don't trust the right. We don't trust the red. We don't trust the blue. It's all commingled. It's all the same thing. Once you talk about the word politics and government, it's tainted. So what do we do? How do we rewrite this? Where we don't know yet. We can't see around the bend, but we're going to figure it out. We, the people, I actually do believe, are going to figure this out. Because if they were going to let this drag out almost like a John F. Kennedy, where they were basically going to say, different, if the powers to be, and I'll let you decide who that is, didn't come up with giving us more information and let us simmer, it would have gone in a different direction. I honestly do believe that. But if I go back and I was talking about Megyn Kelly, any of the influencers that were out there, the ones that were actually all crying on Fox News, and they all knew him intimately. They were all distraught by this. But who was the one that announced he was dead? Was our president of the United States. Who was the one that actually now Charlie Kirk is not a political figure. He spoke politically about his views about God and country. But when they had to actually get his body back from Utah to Arizona, Trump sent his plane out there with our vice president and the second lady to go and honor her and bring her home. What does that tell you about the kind of man that he was? He did so much to open up the eyes. Talk about awakening. He was waking up these college students that went dormant. They went dormant because of the information they were being told. Now, who is out there actually bashing him right now? School administrators, teachers. It's all over the place. There are people out, and if you're not watching X, they are actually taking note. Who is saying, who is laughing, who is just being disgusting, who is being gross. And they're collecting names, they're collecting emails, and they are basically reporting them to whomever, whether it's their employer or whatever it is, to let them know that we don't want these people in society anymore. And it's we, the people, that are doing that. It's not the government. It's not anyone else. I saw this out on X. They're taking it upon themselves and they're saying enough is enough. And for me, I thought, oh my God, this. Why didn't I think of something like this, right? You can get access to anything. If your picture is out there, how did they catch this kid, right? Because his picture's out there somewhere, but his father actually turned him in. His own father turned him in. Wow, what a lesson that family is going through. They do have the death penalty in Utah, and we're going to see how this one is played out. All right, so and whether or not, and I'm just going to kind of throw this out to you, people that they're probably saying Janine doesn't know that Charlie Kirk was just a character in the movie, and he was not really dead. He might come back as something else. I just want to say, if that's your belief, please continue to believe it. But as far as I'm concerned, just no different from Kristen W., 45tastic, Mike Penny, who else was out there? Froggy, all of them, they walked away from the public. That's how I have to view this, is that those people walked away from the public. And if you're saying Charlie Kirk did the same thing and he's not dead, then that's your belief. And I can't judge you on that. And I know what my beliefs are. And I'm just going to hold that near and dear. That's one of my keys. When I talk about the Akashic, that's my keys. That's near and dear to my heart. That's my belief system. But you're not going to sway me because of the fact that maybe you see something a little bit different and you're an influencer out there and you have 50,000 people that are following you. And because you say boo, that you can think you're going to put the scarcity into them. All right. So I want to come back. I know that I kind of went off on a tangent. I was not planning on doing this. I don't know what got into my my Wheaties this morning, but let's just take a look and see what else that I have out there for you guys. Actually, I'm kind of being pulled to maybe do a little bit more. There's a lot of information out there, a lot of information. I just want to talk about this kid here in particular. As soon as he comes up here, there's nothing to play, but I read the story. So this is a particular kid who is, he's just started his job. I guess he's doing some blue collar job as an electrician. I do believe he's a godly man. And he came home and he said, tonight, my 23-year-old son, I'll read this to you. Tonight, my 23-year-old son came home from a long day of being an electrician apprentice, then trade school. Out the door at 5:30 a.m., back home at 8 p.m. He showered, he ate dinner, he did his push-ups, sat next to, I guess it's his mother or father, I'm not sure who it is, and prayed aloud for Charlie's family for 10 minutes without prompting. So in other words, she didn't ask him to do it. He just said, come on, let's sit down and let's pray. They listened to 2 worship songs, including Rise Up, O Men of God, and watch a short talk by Charlie while eating. Basically said, he hugged me and said, I need to be more like Charlie. God help me. And then he went to bed. Something is happening with these young men. They burn like fire. They pour like rain. And unfortunately, there was one 22-year-old that didn't get that message. That 22-year-old not only ruined his life, he took a life and he ruined his family's life because he couldn't debate, because he didn't have a voice. I'm here to tell you that every kid in their 20s is allowed to say what they want to say and feel okay about it. Charlie didn't take that away from him. He honored him by saying, if you are this or if you are that, but if you're coming to me for advice, I'm going to tell you how to go about it in a godly way. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much what I have. And now I just want to pull, I did do a wheel here. Let me see where my wheel is at. Now I'm getting very emotional. All right, there's a lot of decodes that I had up here. I'm not going through that. I am not the person to do that. Go check out, I think it's Rambo Joe Rambo, something like that. The guy is really good. He had a round table on there yesterday that I happened to catch live. I'm not sure who sent it to me. I think it was a 3-hour show, but first hour I was busy doing things. And then I sat down right at the perfect time. And that's how God works through me. My creator works through me all the time. And this is where we're going with our energy, is knowing that we're in the right place at the right time. And just like Colleen knew to stay in her garden and keep doing what she was needed to do to be who she truly is. And she wasn't going about to jump up and race to see what the hell is going on. She heard the news. She did what she did internally, and she carried on. So what I'm going to do right now is I did pull some questions about all this, and I'm looking for my cards. And if anybody is struggling with this and wants a reading on this, you're more than welcome to contact me. I do want to see what is going out on Rumble right now. Boy, my emotions really changed throughout this. My first thumbnail here, this is the thumbnail for the show. It was a gun at first. And then I walked away and I said, I can't have that. That's not my message. That's not me. That was the anger. That was the confusion. And I removed it and updated it. And so that's what you guys are looking at there. I'm actually looking for my my Rumble chat. I thought I have 1 second, guys. If anybody out there wants to help Janine, you're more than welcome to come on to my show and help me. You don't even have to be on camera. All right, let's see how I can do this. I think it's Alt-Tab. I'm just looking for the chat. All right, I see Decoder is out there, and you guys can see this also too. It's on the screen. She's saying blessings, everyone. The shot heard around the world. That's correct. I heard that also, and that's been said many, many times. TCT me says, I was at the airport in Montana. I didn't believe it. Pictures of with the picture of a wedding ring on the ring finger. She's talking about what pictures she actually did. She did do. All right. So she was agreeing with Colleen. All right. And she says, I don't watch any of those mainstream media stations that have been bought. By the way, if you guys haven't seen this, and I keep talking about it, and I don't know if I'm talking on the phone to my friend or talking to you guys, but Israel just bought CBS, and CBS has Paramount, and also is it Blue Sky? So you're not going to get anything that you think is even real. And I do think that this is another piece of the puzzle here about the mainstream media. TMZ was heard laughing about the news about Charlie at the time. They were live. He announced that Charlie Kirk got shot, and everybody clapped and applauded and blah, blah, blah. Then they come back and they were saying, oh, no, they were watching something else. These are the things that they're being shown. So if something is part of the movie, no, let's just put it this way. When you turn on a movie and you watch it, you see somebody actually getting shot. You don't see it in real life. We haven't seen that since JFK. When you actually see an evildoer out there, you're watching a drama and somebody is really deceitful, you get to see these characters. It's being pulled into, if you think this is a movie, it's being pulled into real life. And why is that? You really have to think about this. They're pulling this stuff in and showing it to us and saying, this is what's been going on. And now we have to make some decisions about how we want to live in society with these type of people. All right, let's spin. All right, so here's the one question, and I hope this is the right one. It's the Records of Healing in Chaos. What guardians do the Akashic Records offer to help me cultivate the compassion and forgiveness in the face of this tragedy? It's a fantastic question. Let me see what I have here. If you guys have a question, say pick me, Ronnie, if you can help me out, or whoever is out there. Lori's is out there. She says a spinning wheel is a cool idea. All right, let's just see. If anyone really is struggling with this, let me know. I'm here to help you. You know, this is what this is all about. Let's see what Guardian of the Akashic. Let's all take a deep breath. All right. All right, let's see what I got. I got a very small work area because I moved my seat. So I got to be very careful with the first card that I'm actually getting. All right, so the first thing I'm actually getting is it's a 2. It's a 2 of the forces. And the 2 is they're asking about the guidance to the Akashic records. And so right now what we're all being told is we got to stay strong. And I get that from the Willow. I'm going to show you the cards. And I'm getting that through. There's a water running past it. So stay strong in the emotional bullshit that's going on out there. Because you know your life. You know what the kind of life that you want to lead. But you can still reflect upon what has happened. But don't get stuck there. Don't get stuck in reflecting in too much. And then the third card that I'm actually getting, which is a little bit the shadow side, is that we are writing this new record. This is a record. I'm telling you guys right now, it is created. It's in the Akashic library at this point. But right now, it's not completed because it was upside down. So when I see the scribe that's upside down and it's a 12, that means the communications, it's a 12, which comes to a 3 of communications, is that we are not done getting information on this right now. So the guidance to all of this right now is just be cool, right? Do the forgiveness of yourself if you have to, or for others. You can listen and witness to what everybody is saying. Observe, but don't absorb. I'm back to that one, you guys. I thought I put that one to bed. All right, let's see here. All right, so that's the one that I have. I don't know if anybody Ronnie, you can always text me if I miss someone because I'll put my phone up here. If I see that you're texting me, because I'm just going to go through and I'm going to remove one. I'm going to remove this one. These are very short readings for you guys. And let's just see the next one here. Maybe this is some advice that you guys can pass on to someone else out there also too. Let me get this off my phone here. I got X flying. All right. All right. The next one here is, how can I protect my energy and maintain a connection to source while navigating the collective pain of this event? Whoa, that is a beautiful question. I'm actually going to turn my phone on in case Ronnie lets me know I missed somebody out there. Let's see. Loris, you could do that also too if you have my number. All right. Yeah, Arnie, we got to have you back on here real soon. So there you go. All right. So the first thing is, how do I protect my energy and maintain a connection to source and navigating the collective pain of the event? First of all, I don't have to go through, but I'm going to see what the spirit is guiding me to tell you what to do. But I do this I had to do this the last couple of days. And so basically I just asked spirit to take the chaos from me. That's the first thing. But then I put a particular, like, around my home, around everything that where energy can come in. I do a protective shield. I put mirrors in front of me, in the back of me, and on the side of me, encompassing me, and they're reversed out. So if somebody is trying to send you negative energy, and I have this shield on right now, it will just basically reflect off the mirrors and go back to them. That's one of the ways to protect your energy. But we need to know how to get through the collective pain of the event. Let's see what we have here. All right. So the first thing is, they're basically saying is, right now there's a lot of light. There's a lot more light that's here right now than you guys probably can envision. Do you guys feel the lightness? I'm going to ask this. I'm going to throw this up. There's two very intuitive people out there that I would love to see start to shine. That would be Ronnie, and I know Arnie is getting there. I know he's there. And so what I'm basically saying is that if you guys can sense the amount of light that has come in at this time since this has happened, let me know. Put it in the chat out there. I appreciate it. And so that's what they're basically saying is, as I drop the card, is that there is a lot of light, and it's all encompassing around the crown chakra. So we are receiving it. So that's one thing that you want to do is probably if you're feeling like you're not getting as much guidance, because you gotta be open to it. You've got to be open to it. You got to make that connection. And however that you do this, and that's just sitting quiet, breathing, 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 and just being and knowing that we are not alone, and basically just getting into who we truly are. And that's your higher self. And then also too, they're saying, please call in. Please call in Archangel Raphael. Do you see the pink light around the heart? Do you see the green light in the hands? Put that pink light back into your heart. And the last card that I will use here is Archangel Michael for all the children. Now, who are the children? Who are the children that are out there? Archangel Michael, basically is saying, is not being utilized as much as we should be utilizing them. I wish I had a prayer book. I really do, on the archangels. I was thinking of this like the last week to get one. I used to have one. Sometimes I kick myself because I donated all my books to a particular library. I need a book to open up the prayers, and it's got to be authentic. It can't just be anything that I'm ripping off the internet or anything like that. I will find it. So I hope that has helped you. Joey G has got a statement out there. Joey, hey, sweetie. Going to do a show with Joey. Neil Diamond. Oh, your heart's light. Yeah. Okay, let's see what else we have out here. I'm feeling the light energy today, says Colleen. Good. I know I was. And you know what? There's something else that's going on with me. And I think what it is that I wasn't angry as much as I was before, but I'm trying to find myself again and get more aligned with who I am. And sometimes it kind of comes across as matter of fact. That's the best word I can come up with. So to answer that one question, I'm going to pull one more out of here, and just to see how that we can handle everything that has been going on. What a week. What a week, you guys. And the minions are going to continue to do this. All right, what's the next one here? What is a collective soul lesson humanity is meant to learn from the assassination of... Oh. Wow. All right. What is our soul lesson? This is a big one. If you guys are getting something, and I mentioned my two students out there, Ronnie and Arnie. Anyone else out there? I don't know. I don't know who's out there. I should probably go back and just quickly, I want to check Rumble to see if anyone's out there, especially if they want me to answer something. Oh, TCTME. All right. I'm going to do a reading for TCTME. She cries out to Michael, the other in the other big ones for their help, crushing all who are not God. Okay. Oh, she's been extremely emotional. Okay. All right. Yeah, there you go. All right. So let me get back to this one. Whoa, no. All right. Shoot. What is the soul level purpose or energetic significance of Charlie Kirk's passing in the manner of the collective consciousness? That wasn't it. Let me just see if because I didn't close it. I'll find it. Hold on. I'm sorry. It was a good one. There's only a few in here. I think it was, what is the collective soul lesson of humanity is meant to learn from the assassination of Charlie Kirk? There we go. It might come up again because I didn't remove it. What do you guys think that this is? This is an excellent question for all of you. You know, play along at home, write it down. What is the because we got to think about this kind of stuff. What is the collective soul lesson humanity is meant to learn from the assassination of Charlie Kirk? All right. I need a bigger work area. All right. The first thing that I'm actually getting here, I got a 7, but it was in the shadow side of things, which basically means wasn't faded, that's for sure. This is all about our own spirituality. That's what I'm basically seeing here. Yeah. So what is the collective lesson is, about this is not to stay in the fear, because the last card ended up with the fear, not to stay in the fear of any of this. And so this assassination is spiritually moving us into a place that we have never been before. If you go back 62 years, John F. Kennedy was assassinated very similar. It wasn't in a car, but this one here is almost as if Charlie was a sitting duck for this guy here. But there was thousands of people there, all ages, which was the saddest part, that the ones up front had to actually see this. So that moved everybody at a level of their consciousness that basically, if you will, it wasn't something that people were witnessing in a movie. It was in real life, right in front of them, in front of these children. And spiritually, it basically has woken us up to say there must be something much more powerful than I am. And that's what I'm getting from this, is that I'm going to pull one more, then to remove any of the fear that we may have. So in other words, when you see something, remember I always said, when you see something, you say something. That next time you see somebody, you go to a public event, you see them on the roof, you basically run over there and you take pictures of them, or you get right in their face and figure out what it is they're doing. We have to be able to not be fearful, but be protective. This is going to be what they're basically saying, that this is the 7 of the Roses is going to be a huge journey, leap. It's a big leap in the journey that we are taking right now. I'm actually going to pull more cards on this. And yeah, so we are definitely shifting within the energetic field of this, whether when this first happened, a lot of us probably consciously or unconsciously went to oh my God. So when you say, oh my God, where are you going with this? That's just a term. A lot of them would say Lord or Jesus, creator, that type of thing. But it's almost right away you're calling out and you're asking for help. Can you imagine when this actually happened? 2,000, 3,000 people, and that's just counting where you were at in school, has not been done since John F. Kennedy. So all the people sitting around the world reached out and said, oh my God. We are basically saying help, or, whatever your spirituality went into. Prayer. Everybody instantly went to one particular individual out there, and all the people that they were actually watching, the ones that have a soul, did that. I hope this helped you guys out. Ronnie, am I missing anything? I got to check my phone with Ronnie. Does anybody want a particular reading to maybe in reference to this event? Nothing outside of it. And let let's see what else we have out here. I'm going to put my cards aside for 1 minute, and I hope you guys appreciate this. Okay. What channel are you going to be on? With Joey, it's going to be Buckshot and Joey. It'll be on Rumble. I think we're also going to go to YouTube. I don't think the guys are going to say anything that YouTube can't handle. You know, honestly, I do believe that. So yeah, Joey, that's where we're going to go. We're going to go on Rumble. It'll be 6 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock. We're going to talk much more in depth. I'm going to let the guys do this, especially the ones that, you know, kind of watch the decoders. I know that Buckshot is very close with Jason Q. He's probably got, you know, I guess I want to say his perspectives. Everybody has a perspective on this, but I don't want anyone's perspective to change based upon your discernment. So that's where we're going to go on this on Sunday. Let's see what else. Ronnie says not missing anything. All right, good. And you know, Buck usually watches my Rumble channel, but I'm actually going to pop over there to see if anybody, or otherwise I'll do maybe one more. Okay, so there's some people out on Rumble that are basically kind of giving some advice on other people that listen to music. I think Vicky Fisher is saying listen to some music, and that's exactly what I was doing. I am not kidding you guys. I basically went back to my music when I was, you know, older, my later teens. So which was probably, you know, the late 80s music. And I was rocking it because I needed to clear the energies. I needed to maybe go into a space that I haven't been in a long time. And it was fun. It was Billy Squire, I think, came up on my phone. And I was just like, yes, where has this guy been? You know, let's see here. And then also to the singing bowls, if you want to go the other direction with that. I basically like to just get out in the sun. You know, I was doing a lot outside yesterday. Let's see. Vicky is saying, I have listened to Janine for a while, but I always remember observe, but don't absorb. Yeah, I'm back to that again, Vicky. Yeah, and let's see. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you popped in to see us all. All right, so I'm going to spin it one more time. Let's just see what we've got going on out here. And let me just kind of get the cards ready so that I'm ready with this. And let's see where we're at. How can I contribute to healing the collective consciousness affected by this act of violence? So do you guys actually, I mean, I don't know what level that, if any of you even follow Charlie, but it was really hard to miss him. Maybe you tuned into him every now and then and stuff like that. But were you affected by this act of violence? And if you were not, maybe it's because you didn't, you know, see it, pay attention to it. That's the only way that a lot of times a lot of people will say, you know, I didn't know who he was, so I didn't see it, but it was all over the place. So it had to affect you, being repeated over and over and over on the news, decoding, driving you crazy, sending you down rabbit holes. It had to affect everybody in a way, but from a collective perspective, let's see how that worked. All right, so what do I have here is the first thing that came in was an 11. It was spiritually again, and I think it made people so much more stronger. If you take a look at the videos that are out there, you see people say they were saying things that I can't repeat on this channel. Not swear words, but action words of what would happen if they didn't get the answers, and that is huge. And it's almost as if they all stepped up into their, you know, when we talk about our higher self, is also our master self, right? A lot of people some people refer to their ascendant masters, right? And so were we all calling on that? Were we now basically finding that within us? And I think that is what was affected by this senseless act of violence. And I truly do believe that whatever you had going on in your day, it's almost as if energetically, I'm talking about energetically, spiritually, we jumped into the next level. That's how it was affected. I hope you guys are feeling a lot stronger out there. Kind of remove the emotional stuff if you can. We're kind of getting over that wave, but I don't think we're quite done yet, because one of the cards that I actually did pull did say that our journey isn't over yet with this particular incident. We're going to now see the funeral. That's going to trigger more stuff. We're now going to see, Trump is a big part of this. The whole connection of all of this is not political. It is spiritual. All right. Let me just see anything else from you guys out there. Amy Boyd is in the house. How are you doing? I'm actually going to move this screen over so that I can read this. I'm going to stop sharing, guys. And Riz. Rizzo! All right, let's see here. Joey is saying, question everything. What is the narrative behind it? That's a great thing, Joey. I want you to repeat that again. Rizzo, get over here right now. Let's see here. Yeah, Joey was saying, no way is this over. It's only the beginning. We're going to talk about that, Joey. I'm glad that you're kind of mentioning this, because Amy Boyd says, you tell that Rizzo. Yeah, that Rizzo, he's something else. Which, by the way, if you are wondering, if you haven't seen this or heard me say this, Rizzo, his name came from a first baseman that helped win the 2016 World Series for the Chicago Cubs. His name was Anthony Rizzo. He now retired from the New York Yankees, and he's coming back as an ambassador to the Chicago Cubs. I was like, yes, because when he was in town about a year ago, they asked him, this player, this wonderful guy that I just fell in love with. Of course, I had to name my dog after him. And this is a stupid sidebar. But I was so excited about it because, that was a miracle in its own at the time, I thought. But now that we know what we know about sports, maybe we'll start to see everything in that arena work out. But we've got some other things to do. And like Joey is basically saying, I'm going to go back to you guys. There's no way that any of this is over. This journey is gone a little. It's just beginning, right? We've just begun on this timeline. It's the only way that I can basically explain that to you guys. So everyone will say, what do you mean we just begun? We've been doing this for so many years. There's so much to this. One of the things I do want to talk about is I was watching this Rambo guy. If you guys want to go out on Rumble, I think it's Joe Rambo or Rambo Joe. It's either or. And it's somewhere in there about halfway through, he starts decoding. And one of the decodes that these guys were doing is that there was a saying in there with Oprah. Maybe Joey could bring this up too. Oprah was in the Q drops. You know how Oprah would say, you get a car? Well, it was you go to jail, you go to jail, you go to jail. We're going to see what comes out of all of this soon. I do believe that there will be finally some accountability. Let's keep our fingers crossed on that one. Yes. Oh, okay. So Joey's telling me it's Rambo and Friends. So check it out, you guys. If anybody is looking for a reading, you could just contact me at my email address. I'd be glad to do some with you. All right, that's about all that I have. And I'm at the hour there. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Don't forget Sunday. I think it's 6:00 Eastern time, 5:00 my time, which is Central time. I haven't heard from Buck, and I was really excited to invite Joey and Buck on together. I want to sit back. This is Buck is very much a peaceful man that I think his energy is needed right now. That's one of the reasons why I reached out to him. As Joey's they're both very big humanitarians. I know that they're both They are both Aquarius. There's their astrology sign. So you know that they're working for the collective. They are working for the masses, and that's how their mind is. Getting them in touch with their family is a little bit different. Getting them a little bit closer, right? But that's how the Aquarian energy works. And I hope you guys will join me on that. I appreciate each and every one of you. And thanks for stopping in and listening to me. I've got a very small following here, and I'm hoping that we'll keep growing each and every day. So share, like, and subscribe. Take care. Blessings to all of you out there. I love you. Take care. Bye now.
Turn the page. Roses bloom where the old road bends. Petals fall where the story ends. Forces rise in the morning light, pushing my heart through the endless night. A golden key in my trembling hand unlocks the truth where the cosmos stand. Scrolls of starlight, they call my name, singing rise up, it's time to change. Turn the pace at the fire ignite, through the Akashic glow where the soul takes flight. Roses and keys, scrolls of truth in my hands. With the force of forever, I'll dance where I stand. Turn the page, turn the page. The Akashic thought.